Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, 7 o'clock in the morning, August 27th, 2026. Now, check this out. This is a lake. This is one of those man-made lakes. It's one of my favorites. I mean, I live in the neighborhood. I mean, this is where I pass by, walk through several times a day. Look at the little fishes making their little bubbles and stuff. Oh, there's plastic. Gotta get rid of it. I'm not gonna get that because it's too far and I'll get hurt or fall in or whatever. You gotta know your limits. Check for aquatic life in here. None. Empty it out. So I studied aquaponics for about 10 years. I mean, kind of lazily. I mean, I was doing other things, but that was my primary focus. And aquaponics is think of a garden on top of a fish tank. And what got me into that? Cool shirt. What got me into that was environmental science or environmental ethics or whatever. Because I know the gardening industry, more or less the agriculture where our food comes from. A lot of it is corporate, and which basically means they put chemicals into the plants, genetically modified seeds they're sterile. And so you gotta basically buy new seeds from a corporation, and it puts the farmers and ranchers at stake because they're constantly making new and different laws and regulations or coming up with new bogus stuff. Have a rock star day, dude. And which has been my primary research for, since I was 6, 8, 10, something like that. No, I'm sorry, since 6th grade, 7th grade, that's what I meant. So basically, when I was in my preteens, young teenage years, it's been space travel or fossil record. What would an American do? What would a coward do? Now think of them more as math equations. Or math equations, physics, whatever, it's an equation. Does it bring us closer to space travel or closer to the fossil record? Well, that question right there is kind of an interesting statement. Now, because there's gonna be we're gonna be in the fossil record no matter what. Now think about the short-term goals. Is the actions that we're bringing in today, are they bringing us closer to being a multi-planetary species, or are we killing ourselves faster? Yes, I'm talking about the AI, talking about the corruption in government and stuff of that nature. Now, remember what I talked about aquaponics just like a couple seconds ago? There's an elementary school, and I just showed you the lake. Imagine the kids in these schools learning about environmental ethics and learning about how to repopulate wildlife, how to be stewardships of the earth. And anybody that's in the AI industry, that should be your number one primary focus. Because AI, it doesn't matter how I do the math, will most likely eradicate 80% of humanity. Which is it might as well be the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. So, which is the level of importance And yeah, I'm kind of hinting towards that one bigwig who has who's trying to get us into space, trying to launch us into Mars, which is a great idea, the most productive thing. And yeah, he's doing AI. He's got his manufacturing car industry, and doing a bunch of things. I mean, this guy's an awesome polymath, more of an entrepreneur than a polymath, because he didn't realize that I also studied electric cars, aquatic cars, cars running on oxygen. No, I'm sorry, cars running on water, and different kinds of stuff. And when he contacted me through email, I kind of gave him, I was extremely excited. He was saying that the stuff I'm working on is valuable. 555 on the timer, so 5 minutes 55 seconds for those who understand. And so I've been wearing this belt. I've been wearing for 30 years, or sorry, 20 years. I've been wearing this red leather belt with little not necessarily spikes, but those rounded soft spikes or whatever, for 20 years. And I bought the medium size when I bought it, because I thought I was going to grow into it and whatever. But after 30 years, or 20 years, it's still on me. I'm still able to wear it, mid-20s. Just going to gothic nightclubs and whatever. Because, that's where the art's at. Stressful people that have had stressful lives using that stress in a creative manner. Granted, it's sadistic and whatever, but one of the movies, one of the musicals that we would sing and dance to was, what was it? You know what? I'm getting off subject. I was talking about aquaponics and repopulation of endangered wildlife. So if the students are learning how to create new life or help repopulate life, endangered wildlife, because there's 35 native fish in Arizona, and more than half of them are on the endangered list. Well, they're threatened, or there's just enough of a population where they're all inbreeding. And my aquaponics teacher was talking about how the fish have been so inbred that they're literally stupid. He's telling me whatever, but the problem I have with aquaponics is that one of the sayings about aquaponics, you're good at aquaponics when you've killed 1 million fish, which is why I use turtles. And then the teacher's like, oh, salmonella. Like, well, if you keep a healthy ecosystem, the turtles won't get it, and you can eat the food. But yeah, there's a risk. I mean, how big of a risk? It's pretty low. Probably 10%, 20% or less. I don't know. I kind of forgotten what it is, but the odds are low. In fact, even 10% might be high. I don't know. But now imagine your kids learning aquaponics. How awesome would that be? Turning that lake into a nature reserve habitat where they're not only repopulating endangered fish, but also growing food, which is what school is supposed to be doing. NASA ran an experiment on 1,500 kids from 3 to 5, saying that 98% of them were creative geniuses. So I say, that's the motivation for that. Why not keep that mentality instead of standardized testing? How about we go do that? Find ways to get people excited about tomorrow. Because that's what's been keeping me alive for the last, 43 years. I'm extremely gifted when it comes to that. And yeah, I've had my trials and tribulations, and for the ones that support that mom who's on the news for killing her children, every member of my family has tried to kill me at one point or another. And my mom, when I was in, she sent me to boarding school after divorcing her second husband at 10 years old, when I was 10 years old. And, when I was in high school, my goal was to meet the qualifications to go to West Point, because one of my granddads on my mom's side taught chemistry at West Point. And I thought that was awesome. That's a great goal to have. Following the family bloodline, so to speak. And that's kind of what we got to get going. We got to start caring about our planet a little bit more. We got to start caring about human potential a lot more. And if we don't take care of this AI situation, the next 3 years is going to be tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. And I'm only seeing 80% of the population drop. So, and I've gone over the math on this. If we're able to overcome that and have a habitat, livable habitat, entry level terraforming capabilities on Mars by 2050, the odds of being on three different planets by 2100 is nearly guaranteed. So, there's a lot of hope. Keep up the faith, hug a tree, because that's where you ground ideas into reality for fun for the next generation. Because you got to hug a tree before you plant it.